But what if circumstances were to magnify one of them in size and strength, took it out of its primitive world and turned it loose in ours?
Then expect something that's fiercer, more cruel and deadly than anything that ever walked the earth.
Even science was stunned. The new atomic miracle should have been mankind's greatest boon. Instead, when such power to cause phenomenal growth proved dangerously unstable, man was confronted with his most shocking blunder.
The isotope triggered our nutrient into a nightmare.
A blunder that transformed a tiny insect into the 100-foot spider that was now ravaging the panic-stricken countryside.
To market, and this little piggy stayed home. And this little piggy had roast beef, and this little piggy had none. And this little piggy cried, wee, 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 all the way home. Gee, I'd like to go with Mother Goose on a journey, just to visit with the dame who lives in a shoe. Oh, I know I'd really raise the juice on the journey, seeing old King Cole and even little boy Blue. Maybe Mary's lamb and Simple Simon would greet me. The cat with a fiddle might play something that's new. There is where I'd like to be.
Come and join the family of the old girl who's living in the shoe.
Let's go.
So long, Betty. I'll keep the home fires burning.
I don't care what's down below. Let it rain, let it snow. I'll be up on a rainbow, sweeping the clouds away. Fighters will always win. Arnold will take it right on the chin and grin. And so I shout to everyone, find your place in the sun, up on top of a rainbow, sweeping the clouds away. Let the whole world sigh and cry, 'cause I'll be sweeping the clouds away. Little Jackie Horner leaves his corner with a plum upon his thumb, and he merrily beats a plum upon the drum. Mary so contrary isn't so contrary as she used to be, for she laughingly follows in to have some fun.
A new member to Mother Goose Land. Betty Boop.
Humpty Dumpty fell down off the wall, and the crowd began to yell, and the crowd began to yell.
Hello, Tom, the piper's son, Jack and Jill and everyone. Young Tom Thumb, come play your drum with a dum to little dum dum. Humpty Dumpty, oh hear my plea. If you fall, please fall for me. Fiddlers three, come play for me with a dum to little dum dum.
Little boy Blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow.
The cow's in the corn.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey.
Down came a spider and sat down beside her.
Down came a spider, sat down beside her, frightened Miss Muffet away. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Rollicking coaches and rollicking then couldn't put Humpty together again. The woman in the shoe had a family that always kept her life in a jamboree. She couldn't keep them all when she lived just 53. Hi-diddle-diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the beaver. The little dog laughed to see her sport and the cloud jumped over the moon.
Oh, yeah?
Three blind mice, three blind mice. Oh, look! Oh, King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddler's tree. Sing a song of sixpence, pocket full of pride, 420 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Pack up all my care and woe, here I go, singing low. My blackbird, when somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is she. My blackbird, no one here can love and understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. I don't ride late tonight. Bye-bye. Here I go, singing low. Bye-bye, blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is she. Bye-bye, blackbird. No one here can love and understand me. Make my bed and light the light. Day to night, blackbird, bye-bye. Ring around the rosy, and the fun of Rosie. All the girls in our town come for Uncle Josie. Ring around the mulberry bush, mulberry bush, mulberry bush. Ring around the mulberry bush, my fair lady.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop.
Boop-boop-a-doop.
Incidentally, where are your menfolk?
You're the first man I've ever seen.
Don't let go, Kip.
Ellen, what's the matter?
Danger, Kip. They want to kill you. They'll take the spaceship and they'll make me go with them.
Well, how?
They can, Kip. They control me.
You'll share man's greatest thrill as you rocket through space to the lost moon city of alluring, ferocious cat women. Theirs is the fevered fury of life without love, goading them to lure men into the den of bloodthirsty moon monsters, driving them to tempt men in the deadly cave of moon gold, flaming into a wild lust to conquer man and destroy the world.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friends, Mr. Evan Sink.
Good evening.
And Mr. Fresh Rogan.
And Mr. Shut up.
Oh, wow. Whew. That's really feeling some heat right out of the gate there, Fresh. Everything okay today? Are you still a little miffed about the alien hearing this past Wednesday? What's up, man?
Is the heat getting to you?
Fine.
Oh,
no, I'm okay.
fine.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's whatever.
It is whatever. Well, Fresh is good. We're all good. Hope everybody else is good out there. Thank you for joining us tonight. Kicking back, relaxing for another Friday of some public domain horror. Taking it easy. You know, if you've had a stressful week or a long week, now's the time to just sit back, relax, and enjoy a nice heaping pile of schlock as we have been doing the past few Fridays.
Come and get it.
Come and get it. Yeah, the bell, the dinner bell, the schlock bell is ringing.
Ring the bell?
Yeah, it's just. I think so. I think we hear it. Yeah, that's what that sound means. Not Taco Bell. It's schlock garbage. And you know, we were out last week, so we're actually coming back to you after a little hiatus. So it
feels like it's been so long.
It does. Yeah, even being off for a week. Yeah, it definitely. It's like, oh man, I didn't get my chance to like, you know, to just watch terrible performances and bad set design and all these fun things that help me decompress after a long week. I missed out on that last Friday.
Nothing quite brings in the weekend like a cheap rubber monster.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, cheap. We've had a lot of cheap rubber monsters so far. That's why it's the summer of schlock. That's been my goal is to find some really, really, really schlocky creatures, and I mean
only the schlockiest.
Only the schlockiest, and tonight's film is no different. Because tonight we're gonna get some giant spider action up in here. So you want to talk about some ridiculous looking creatures, and get ready to see it. Because tonight we're watching Mesa of Lost Women from 1953, and it's you probably primarily say sci-fi before you would say horror, but it's definitely, I mean, giant spiders. There's a mad scientist.
Lost.
Yeah, they're all the lost women. You know, it's all very early 50s. And it's definitely seems fun. I've never seen this before. Yeah, sci-fi. Yes. We I draw the line between sci-fi and horror, or I try to. But I think tonight's film it doesn't really even know what it was supposed to be. Like, they're figuring it out as they go. So it doesn't really necessarily adhere to like strict genre norms, I don't think. Again, I haven't seen it, but it's got some interesting people involved and interesting production history. So we'll go into all that tonight. Interesting connections to past films. But you know, hey, if you were wanting to see some giant monsters really get in a good creature feature, then I think tonight will be good. If we don't get a lot of giant spider action, if nothing else, I can promise some pretty terrible performances. We got some Ed Wood regulars in the mix here, so that's how you know. That's how I know. Yeah, so it's gonna be good. I'm excited for this one. And it's, again, as we said on our mini-sode this past week, this is the Barbie of season 6. This is our Barbie, you know.
Hotly anticipated movie, Mesa of Lost Women.
Yeah, it's the big summer blockbuster that this stream has been waiting for.
So did you say, have you seen this one before?
I have not. No.
Okay, so this one's probably
They're lost, and so they just make it out on their own, and they're empowered. And
they
so
don't
then,
need men.
so yeah, and then we're gonna get some men coming all up in their territory, and X's, if you will. And ultimately, I mean, I just predicting that we'll learn that obviously women are the stronger sex. So what are you gonna do?
Well, what's stronger, women or a spider?
Touche. Well, and maybe the question it seems like this movie poses: what if the woman is the spider? Think about that. This doesn't sound like a feminist movie anymore. Well, it's gonna be. That's the thing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be plenty schlocky. And speaking of schlock, we rebranded our segment that we have every Friday. Evan brings us pairing a cocktail with the movie, and this season, this segment is called
Schlocktail Hour. So this week it has been hot. It has been hot AF. So we need something to cool us down. So I found a recipe this week for a this is
good one, fresh. I was just a little bit fresh in the chat. Sorry.
Our recipe this week is called the Mesa Rosa. So this is based on a recipe I found called the Mesa Fresca, which is basically a margarita, but with grapefruit juice instead of triple sec. So a different citrus. So that it's tequila, grapefruit juice, lime juice, and simple syrup. But if you know me, anytime I see margarita, I think frozen. I want it frozen. So just have it's hot.
Yep.
We need a frozen drink.
Yep.
And then I thought, you know what else is good? Frozen, a wine slushy. And I haven't had a wine slushy in a while, and I thought that sounds like it might hit the spot. So we're going to transform the Mesa Fresca into the Mesa Rosa by just adding some rosé. So we've got a kind of a wine slushy frozen margarita mix. If you're keeping score, if you want to make this at home, the Mesa Rosa is 1.5 ounces each of silver tequila and pink grapefruit juice, 1 ounce each of lime juice and simple syrup, and a 4-ounce pour of rosé. And we just blend that over ice.
Sounds good. Sounds delicious.
So I'm hoping. I didn't try. I don't drink a lot of rosé, but I think it might be a little sweet. So I'm thinking that might work okay with that kind of bitter.
Pair well with the grapefruit juice, right? Yeah. And the tequila, of course. My goodness. Yeah. My goodness. And as we said on Wednesday, I don't know if there's a thing about mixing wine and tequila, but I guess we're going to find out. It's okay. It sounds delicious.
Yeah, and it's nice and it's pink. I mean, we're celebrating Barbie this
week. In celebration of the Barbie and of course, like you said with the heat, I mean, we're heading to the Mesa, man. I mean, we're going to need, it's going to be hot up there on the Mesa. We're going to need a nice little slushy. I don't think I've ever had a wine slushy before. So I think this is certainly going to hit the spot. But it looks delicious. Got these nice metal straws here. So,
I think.
All right,
let's give it a try.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah, no, it is good.
It's got some strong flavor for being like an iced drink.
It's like my straw, like all the ice is getting like stopped up in my straw.
No.
And like I feel like I got all tequila and wine like from the bottom of the so
I need a stir bar. I gotta put this drink on a stir plate.
No, it's good. It's definitely winey, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And again,
you can definitely taste the wine in that.
You can definitely taste the wine, and I'm not a big wine drinker, so But
well, tonight you are.
Tonight I am. Tonight I am. So no, I like it. I think it's a perfect pairing for this film, and it's pretty good. So very, very, very well done once again. Evan just comes in, week out, inventing new. It's all been originals this season, right?
Yeah, this season I've been on kind of a roll here.
I applaud you for it. It's
another couple of seasons we'll put out the recipe book.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this is 48, give or take a few more cocktails. So that's I mean, that's all you get there. Plenty of originals, plenty of old favorites.
Look for it in your local Barnes and Noble.
Yep.
With the other public domain horror books, which do exist.
Oh yes.
They do have those in Barnes and Noble.
You would be surprised.
I was.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I went into a Barnes and Noble. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to go check it out. But no, and we're not doing any reading tonight. No, I can safely say, because what is it? What did we watch 2 weeks ago? We watched Tormented. Before that, Creature of Destruction. We haven't had anything, no silent movies this season, obviously, which I know Fresh is very, thrilled about. But
a whole season of talkies.
Yeah, we haven't had to read. Yeah, it's been nice and sometimes very talky because they got to fill time.
Yeah, fuck reading.
Yeah, so indeed, fuck reading. We're all about watching movies here on Fridays, and so MESA of Lost Women. It should be interesting. First time watch for me, so I'm excited about that. Like I said, it's got a interesting production history. It basically was filmed originally under the title Tarantula, and then either they ran out of money or they just couldn't get it distributed, and then a distributor picked it up, and they hired a producer director to film these new scenes for it. And along those revisions, the title got changed to MESA of Lost Women from Tarantula. So
were the new scenes all on a mesa?
Yeah. I think that they had to probably work pretty hard to establish that. No, and that'll be one thing. I don't know that we'll really be able to track it. Like what was like being able to tell if things were filmed at different times, but in trying to research this movie, I couldn't find a clear answer about what was filmed when and what was in the original movie and what was added later. I mean, I do know some things. Yeah, it's just it's got some weird production stuff, but
the original movie, it was just the spider. There were no women.
Yeah, no, that's what it sounds like. Actually,
as we watch, that's how I'm going to.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, and I mean, you'll see there's like 2 editors, 2 credited directors, 2 cinematographers. Like it's all, I mean, it's basically going to be a patchwork film. So
they're making movies like I make drinks.
Right, exactly. Let's look at a little bit of this recipe, a little bit of that. Boom, we got a new one. Yeah, that's essentially what we have here. But there's actually a lot of interesting like names and connections involved with this movie, which are going to be fun to dig into tonight. And in the world of sci-fi and 50s horror, we'll see some familiar faces and some just some pop culture names and figures. So it's, again, I hadn't heard a lot about this movie growing up. This wasn't one that I ever had. I maybe saw the title and never thought twice about, like, just doesn't ring like a horror title right off the bat, right? But when you got a tarantula woman, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I think it's probably going to be some horror here. So excited for that.
I'm excited for one particular character. We want to tease that.
Yes, well, we can. Well, so basically, the star of tonight's film is the mad scientist. And I can't remember his name, of course, but he's played by Jackie Coogan, who most people know as Uncle Fester in the Addams Family TV series from the 60s. And, that was kind of that'd be his claim to fame now. But he actually has a wild history as a child actor. And we'll get into that. It's a pretty crazy. He's pretty monumental. He was a pretty monumental star at one time. So, but then Uncle Fester. I mean, it's kind of hard to eclipse that. Evan and I were just watching Addams Family before we came up. I'd been watching it today just to see, because I want to see how does the Uncle Fester performance compared to this mad scientist performance.
Okay, yeah.
So that'll be interesting to watch for too. But yeah, Jackie Coogan is our mad scientist tonight. So I'm sure it'll be hard for him to refrain from doing big, like Uncle Fester style, like bits.
Yeah, is he gonna have like a cigar that just like explodes in his face and his face is covered in soot?
Probably. He's probably gonna be using all these like torture devices and just giggling and they're channeling it. But this is 10 years before, I think around 10 years before he did the Addams Family, so a little younger here. But yeah,
Younger
that's
Fester.
Yeah. So that's our big name tonight, but we've got a lot of other interesting ones. Is anything else before we get into it tonight, boys?
I don't tell me the answer, but I do want to ask this question. Does he have hair in this movie? Don't answer.
I won't answer.
Okay. That's just what I'm thinking, and I want everyone at home to be thinking the same thing.
Does he? Jesus, Charlie, get away. My dog is scared of the blender, and the Evans brought into the studio, and so now he's like wedged between my little table, which has my drink and my beers on it, and the big table, which has the computer and all that. Charlie, you need to get out of this space. Move. Ha. Big butts in the way. Back up. Go lay down. Charles, he's not going to turn the blender on again, I promise, okay? He's just staring over you in that blender, Evan. He's terrified.
Oh, he's traumatized.
He's not going to do it. Stop it. All right, if you lay down there, that'll be fine. Okay, on that note, if you have it queued up.
I do.
Then we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of MESA of Lost Women right now.
Just really jumping right in here.
Have you ever been by a girl like this?
Is that it? Is that the Mesa?
Yep, that's the Mesa.
So lost boys go to an island, lost women go to a Mesa.
You go to a Mesa, yeah. Gotta balance it out. You may recognize the name Dolores Fuller. That was the girlfriend of Ed Wood. There's some other interesting Ed Wood connections, other actors as well. I mean, this flamenco guitar, you gotta love it. And the piano.
very spooked by this mesa. I'm as spooked as Charlie is about the blanket.
Exactly.
Strain, the monstrous assurance of this race of puny bipeds with overblown egos. The creature who calls himself man. He believes he owns the earth, and every living thing on it exists only for his benefit. Yet how foolish he is. Consider, even the lowly insect that man trods underfoot outweighs humanity several times, and outnumbers him by countless billions. In the continuing war for survival between man and the hexapods, only an utter fool would bet against the insect. Let a man or woman venture from the well-beaten path of civilization. Let him cross the threshold of the limited intellect.
The score is distracting.
The unknown.
That's one of the big things I feel like I saw in my research for
these
this.
weird adventures with his life.
That's why they don't usually do
Talking,
this.
like a guitar solo going on.
Perhaps that is what happened to these two souls, lost in the great Mexican desert. But then, ask yourself, why would anyone trod from the usually well-traveled roads of this modern age, from the luxury of an air-conditioned automobile? It's difficult for our modern world of statistics and electronics to accept miracles. But you could almost call this a miracle. A genuine miracle.
There's
hundreds and thousands of
narration.
Was added.
Yes, there's speculation that Ed Wood wrote this narration, and I feel like I could totally see it because it's
An American
awful.
oil surveyor has chosen to explore this particular terrible corner of the earth.
Yeah, it was definitely added afterwards, for sure.
The desert of death.
Desert of death.
This surveyor can hardly credit his eyes. Perhaps they're only elusive images produced by roasting the optic nerve.
It's like they
Is
just
this guy
gotta
gonna talk the
yeah,
whole
like
time?
it is. He's just wall to wall with it, man.
They are living things.
Try not to
from
talk
somewhere.
while somebody is talking, but it's just like there's no stopping this guy.
Miracle or not, they will not.
The narrator is an Ed Wood regular, Lyle Talbot, who was in a few of Ed Wood's
True to
movies.
its name, will soon convert them into dead things.
What did it say? Convert them into dead things?
That's what it sounded like.
That is one way to put it.
Your Honor, I didn't kill him. I converted him into a dead thing.
He's coming out of it then.
I was trying to convert him into a PDF.
I doubt it, Doc.
That's correct.
Even if they got across that desert alive, the Sun's bound to have cooked their brains. It's a miracle to me. I'll pep you
Cooked
Frank
their
Palmer.
brains?
No, I better be getting back to work.
Jesus.
That's how I felt this
Beats me
week.
how they got
Yeah,
there.
it did.
For
It
what
did
they were
actually
doing.
feel
That's the
like
most
that this week.
godforsaken spot on Earth. Maybe they're from that missing plane we read about. That plane was headed for Mexico City. Have to be 100 degrees off to land in the Muerto Desert. 100 degrees or not, they had to come from somewhere. Where'd you say you picked them up, Pepe?
On the road to Zarpa Mesa, señor médico.
Pretty girl under all that sunburn. She was almost completely dehydrated. I don't know what kept them alive. You're all right. You're safe. You're on an oil
Too bad her
company
brain is fried bologna.
Sure. She's in about the same shape you are. She hasn't come out of it yet. But I
He's
think
laying
you're
there
both
like
gonna be all right.
excruciating
Here.
pain, and then like, ah,
Try to
pretty
fix
gal.
Man, she'd be hot if she wasn't so sunburned.
Who did you think you were, anyway, Superman? Nobody's ever been able to walk across that desert and come out alive. You try with a
You
girl.
fool.
You said this was an oil company. Can you load a truck with full drums and bring all the men you can spare? If we get there in time, maybe we can...
And why?
Burn them out before they scatter. That's the only thing that scares them, fire. But if we're too late, we're done.
Now, just a minute, young fella. Take it easy. You've been out in the sun too long. That sedative will quiet them down a little.
I tell you, you don't know you haven't seen them, but if you had, you'd
You give him a
realize
sedative?
Look,
Can I make you a
you
drink?
said Superman. Well, these are super monsters, or bugs. As big as we are, they can can kill you with one bite.
What can?
These things. If they scatter before we get there, we're...
Where do they come from?
He's got an underground lab up on Zarpa Mesa. He does something to their gland.
Who does?
Dr. Aranya.
So Fester's making spiders. That feels on brand.
Yeah, definitely always struck me as a spider guy.
He doesn't think so. And besides, nobody's ever been able to climb Zarpa Mesa.
You can reach it by
He's
plane.
a spider
Listen to
man.
a story anyway. It all started on the border a few days back.
Spider man, not spider guy.
Pilot for Jan Van Croft, the big financier. Well, we had engine trouble, and I made a forced landing in a field outside this little Mexican town. After we landed, I stayed
Camera shadow.
with the ship to...
Quite a story he's telling, isn't it, Pepe?
Oh my God!
You've heard from your people about
Why?
Zarpa Mesa and the mysterious Dr. Aranya, even though your bosses haven't.
He's still they're
Why?
both talking over each other.
Why tell them? They would only laugh at you and say, "Poor Pepe, you're getting old." But you've heard for years.
I love
protests,
that the narration is just an afterthought. So he's narrating over people
strange
talking.
women who do not die. No.
This narrator just bullied his way into the movie.
You see,
His narrator's like, so anyway, he kept talking and talking about nothing.
began, almost
This
a
must
year
be what
ago.
it's like to watch
The night
us.
Dr. Leland
watch a movie.
the world-famous specialist in research, found himself
We're the
in
ones who
middle
are
of the
supposed to
Muerto
talk
desert.
over the people.
Yeah.
Desert.
He's not letting us do our jobs.
This is kind of redundant to talk over the guy that's talking over the people.
Knew only
This is
the
just a
name
mess at
signed
this
to a
point.
series of brilliant scientific treatises. Aranya.
Oh, we've arrived.
Oh. The guitar, man.
Playing tricks on you in this light.
Ding 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 ding
Is
ding
that
ding.
what you think, Masterson? What was it you thought you saw?
What's with this narrator?
Audience isn't going to be able to understand just by looking at these people what's
Apparently,
happening.
They've come correctly. But to Masterson, it seems strange.
This is what happens
A
when you
man
just
with
do
the
not
genius
trust
of
your
Aranya,
audience.
building his laboratory on an inaccessible mountaintop in the middle of an uninhabited desert. Why Zarpa Mesa?
Why
Zarpa Mesa, indeed. A natural question, Doctor, and one that was soon to be answered, though in a way so fantastic and horrible as to make a man of science doubt his senses.
They're just going to give us the same flamenco guitar the whole time.
I like the jump cut because he couldn't get down the ladder.
Like he got stuck or he stumbled or something.
Yeah. It reminds me of Plan 9 when he's crawling out of the grave and it
Yeah.
jump cuts and he's like completely out of the grave.
He got stuck.
How do you do? My name is Masterson. Dr. Leland Masterson. I believe Dr. Aranya is expecting me.
is so distracting. It's just so discordant, like between the piano and the guitar.
Yeah, it's like there's two scores. There's two of everything in this movie. Oh look, it's Betty Boop.
She does have those curls, yeah. Good eye, Fresh.
Dude, what the fuck? It might as well be silent.
Dr. Masterson?
Dr. Aranya?
I trust your journey was pleasant.
Well,
This is
moderately.
him.
Yep, that's Uncle
He
Fester.
has hair.
He does have hair. And a beard.
Desert, but everything seems to have worked out.
The sentimental human mind being what it is, this is the only sort of a place I could find to carry on my work. But I can understand your feelings.
That's a red flag, bro.
On the anterior lobe
I have
of
to
the
be deep in the
pituitary,
layer
and
to
the effects
do
of
my
the specific
work.
hormones on other living things.
Deep under
Quite
the
the most
earth.
remarkable endocrine theories that I've ever read.
Well, thank you, Doctor. Coming from the world's foremost organotherapist, a fine compliment.
That's why I jumped at the chance to come here, work with you, examine your theories.
Oh, let us understand one thing, Doctor. These are not theories.
Not theories.
Not
I have
theories.
successfully proved every point over
Yeah, you
and
know,
over
not
again in my
theories.
laboratory.
Wait a minute.
It's related to
You want me to
string
believe
theory.
that you have produced these things by experimentation?
And many more.
And my eyes weren't playing tricks.
So you can see
Now,
why
this was
such
probably
work
in
as
the
this
original,
must
right?
be
So there was
completed
that
inside
one.
a mountain
I don't
top
think
amidst
so.
this
I think
this
this may have been
was
shot, yeah, later.
After? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm completing a most unusual experiment in my laboratory. Doctor, would you care to observe?
This is such a ridiculous way to make a movie.
Certainly.
Come on.
Let's add in some mad scientists and some weird women.
Can you imagine if you like wrote and made a movie and then somebody else came and just like injected a bunch of scenes into your
Yeah,
work?
I don't think the original director was too happy about it.
I wouldn't be.
It was the only movie he ever made. And,
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's Herbert
You
Tivos.
get one shot to make a movie.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Now.
What is the
I said
nature of
his
this?
name wrong.
Well, requires some clarification, Doctor. As you know, I have isolated the
Yeah, no,
growth hormone
it's
of the
Herbert.
anterior pituitary, the specific substance which controls the growth pattern of human beings.
Yeah, so was the subject of one of your papers.
Yes, and with this accomplished,
I want the glasses where one lens is
what
fucked
would
up
the
like
effect
that.
be of,
Yeah, I don't really understand.
human pituitary
I like
being
it.
transferred. in the
I want to figure out how to
body of
make
another
my
creature.
glasses like that.
Began a series of experiments. Moderate success among the lesser animals, a complete failure among birds. And then, experimenting one day upon the hexapods, I came upon the Theraphosidia family.
A tarantula?
Exactly.
Experimenting upon the
tarantulas began to
hexapods.
yield amazing results. Human beings began developing new reasoning powers, and I found I had the telepathic power to communicate with them. And then I reversed the process, transplanted the control substance of the insect back into the human body.
I don't know if this is true, but I read that those wigs are just mops.
They look like mops.
Doctor,
Yeah,
observe
it
this
looks
girl.
terrible.
It's like the cheap braids.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
has human beauty and intelligence. Still possesses the capacities and instincts of the giant spider.
So
How do you mean?
She has the indestructibility
How
of
do
the
you
insect.
mean?
If her body
So
became
this guy's
damaged,
made a
if she would
spider
lose an
woman.
arm or a leg,
Yep.
she
The
could
body
grow a
of a
new
woman
one.
in the mind of a
I
spider?
expect
Is that
Talon
right?
Telling me
He said if
survive
she
for
loses an
hundreds
arm
and
or leg,
hundreds
she
of
could
years.
grow a new one.
And what about
okay.
males?
Well, unfortunately, in the insect world,
I don't think spiders.
male is a puny, unimportant thing. You saw a few of the examples.
The dwarfs.
Is this about female
We're
empowerment?
beginning to get some results.
Is it males in the spider world? Males are
If we are
puny.
successful, I shall have a super female spider.
Super female
with a
spider.
thinking and reasoning brain. A creature that someday may control the world. Subject to my will.
There it is.
There it is. So does that mean that somewhere out there is a spider with the mind of a woman?
I guess so. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Are you convinced now, Doctor? I hope you appreciate this opportunity.
I'm surprised.
Are you convinced now, Doctor?
No. You can't do these
I'm surprised the giant spider is just hiding behind that screen and he didn't notice it. I find that hard to
Place is
believe.
like you must be destroyed. You and all foul things that you've made.
You made a choice, Doctor. A very poor choice. Of course, you know I cannot let you leave this place.
Some way, somehow, I'll find a way to put an end to you and your ghastly experiments.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know why they staged it like that. She like looked like she stuck it and he just stood there. They're like, you're not on your mark.
I was hoping for a comment.
All right, so now you just stand in front of the camera and then you just
have another experimental subject.
Now you lie down.
What is happening?
This has got to be some re-edit stuff.
I mean, this is a recap of everything we saw in the last, like, 5 minutes.
Just in case you forgot.
Oh, spinning newspaper! My favorite!
Oh my god.
Oh, shoot. They drove him crazy.
Muerto State Asylum.
Wait.
Asylum for the dead.
Mr. Masterson.
I think we're coming up on our break, right, Fresh?
Yeah, the dissolve.
And that is gonna take us to our first break. So that's the first third of Mesa of Lost Women. What do we think so far, boys?
You did not spend very long in that asylum.
Nope.
We did not spend very long in that asylum.
Nope.
We're in. Oh, he's already escaped. We're back out.
Yeah. No, I think we saw more of the spinning newspaper than we did of the any time in the asylum. So that was, again, that's kind of
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say
can't concentrate with the fucking Spanish guitar in the background super loud the whole time.
Really hard to track what's going on between that and the narrator like yelling at us the whole time. It's kind of like
narration.
All of it makes it very hard to follow. Like if you just got rid of that stuff, like we just make it up in our own minds. Like that's the beauty of a movie, is that the audience can kind of interpret what you're not telling them and what you're, what you're not saying. They got to put it together. But when you're just throwing narration wall to wall in the first 3 minutes, and then on top of that, you're adding the most repetitive, like discordant score of this like pounding piano and this like bouncy guitar. It's just kind of all a lot for the senses to handle at one time.
Yeah, I like the flamenco guitar, but I think, maybe in a little more moderation. That's like the long like establishing shot. You throw a little flamenco guitar to say, okay, you know where we are.
Right. But no, instead it's like they just put it on a loop, and it has not stopped for 19 minutes. I mean, those are the first third of this movie was, and it seemed like we didn't even get 30 seconds without hearing the flamenco guitar or the piano.
This movie is not very comfortable with silence.
No, I think that's the problem. I think that these filmmakers, or at least the filmmaker who created the finished product, he must have not been comfortable with silence. His name was Ron Ormond. We'll talk more about him later. He's a pretty interesting guy. But I think his big mea culpa was getting Jackie Coogan, who plays Dr. Aranya. Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it. Dr. Aranya. And yeah, he's played by Jackie Coogan. And I mean, pretty diabolical so far. Obviously, he's very focused mad scientist. I mean, look at him.
He's got goals. He's working on them.
A lot of the mad scientists we see, they're kind of like, they're struggling. They're not
grasping at straws a little bit.
Yeah, their experiments aren't going great, and they need something to take them to the next thing.
This guy seems like he's kind of figured it out.
Yeah, all he was looking for was like a friend, it sounded like. He just wanted a colleague, somebody to like share his success with. Like, you don't get that often in your mad scientists on this show. They usually are loners. They're putting upon a family member or some other, poor unfortunate soul, and they're just kind of angrily lashing out at everybody. Here, this guy, he's like, I want to make friends. I want to, I'm stoked.
I really want to bring this to the scientific community. Everybody come check out my cool Spider Woman.
Yeah, I mean, he's the place is littered with Spider Women and women spiders, I guess. I don't know. He's got giant spiders running around the place, crawling around the place too. So, and that's been, that one glimpse of a giant spider, that was fun. It was even better the second time when they replayed it in a flashback for no reason at all. Which again, the number of baffling choices, especially in the editing, are already piling up.
Yeah, and we are not very far in.
We're only a third of the way in, and so it's definitely fitting the bill as a schlocky film, I would say.
This one's schlocky.
It is schlocky. But I think Jackie Coogan is killing it as a mad scientist. He's doing good. And I mean, again, he was a very accomplished actor. I mean, in the sense of his reputation as a child star was kind of unequaled at that time. He was basically the first child star. And his biggest role was in the Charlie Chaplin movie, The Kid, and he plays the kid. Oh. And Charlie Chaplin is like kind of adopted. I haven't seen the movie, but I think as I understand it, he's adopted this orphan kid. So it's him and this kid kind of getting into shenanigans and having fun. But then the authorities come to take the kid away from him. And so it's very dramatic. And it was a huge hit, massive success. And, he just that movie really skyrocketed Jackie Coogan to fame, and he ended up being one of the first like celebrities in general to be merchandised, like to have his like face, his image put on products. And by like the mid 30s, I mean, he had made $3 or $4 million in 30s money.
Wow.
Like he had made money. Yeah, like nowadays it's like 40 million like dollars. Like he really was a very successful child star. And but unfortunately, like many child stars, his finances were mismanaged by his stepmother.
Oh no.
Or no, his mother and his stepfather, and they squandered it, like all of it. And so he took him to court in 1939. And I mean, he couldn't get his money back, but he was basically the kind of champion behind this legislation that got passed in California, and its name is the Coogan Act, the Coogan Bill. And it's basically just stipulates that you have to the earnings of child performers are legally protected, like by the system. So like a certain amount of money has to be put in what they call a Coogan account. And so that was kind of his, kind of his big contribution to like kind of, I guess how the film business is done to this day. So
there we go. And then no child star ever had any problems.
Never had any problems ever after that. No, I wish.
Happily ever after.
Happily, it's so sad what some child stars have to endure. But he was one of the rare child stars to kind of go on and have a career throughout like late in his life. And so the first trailer we're going to see is for The Kid, which we talked about. The second one is for a movie that he did in the late 70s, and it's called like Deadly Experiments or something like that. We won't see him in the trailer. He plays a sheriff. You hear one of the characters talking to the sheriff, but you hear her say sheriff, but then they don't show him. So I tried to find a later trailer with him in it, but no dice. But that's a horror movie. He did a couple horror movies in the late 70s, which again, of course, Uncle Fester was his crowning achievement, at least in modern culture. But he wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty in some B horror movies. Obviously, as we're seeing tonight, he's killing as a mad scientist. So we're gonna get these two Jackie Coogan trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting middle of Mesa of Lost Women. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Ein Knabe nimmt den Mund sehr voll und mausert sich zu einem großen Fresser und wird zum Liebling von Millionen. Charlie Chaplin, The Kid. Charlie Chaplins meistgeliebter Film mit dem beliebtesten Kinderstar aller Zeiten, Jackie Coogan. Charlie zieht ein Findelkind groß und der Knirps ist bald ganz der Papa. Aber auch Charlie lernt von seinem Schützling. Er fühlt sich immer dort am wohlsten, wo gerauft wird. Die fidele Lebensgemeinschaft von Charlie und Jackie ist auch eine einfallsreiche Arbeitsgemeinschaft. The Kid, Charlies Meisterwerk. Seit Jahrzehnten nicht mehr im Kino, kommt jetzt wieder. Und die Kritik sagt, wer hier nicht lacht, wird niemals glücklich sein. Der große und der kleine Tramp, wie sie sich mit der Welt herumschlagen und allen Langweilern eine lange Nase drehen. Ein Film für alle, die alles von Chaplin gesehen haben. Nur das Beste noch nicht. The Kid.
But I don't know no other way. Got to live it day to day. But if I die
This is Rachel Foster, dazzling, defiant,
Sheriff, he's trying to cheat me.
destined to be free. But somewhere up ahead, someone was waiting.
Hello? Anybody home?
Summer and Edwin Brown present a Gregory Goodell film, Human Experiments.
This just might be what we've been waiting for.
Came in to use the phone. My car got stuck. I
See your stay here rather as a short stop along the road, a place to heal and rebuild.
On the table, please.
In 6 months, she'll be a different human being. These things happen, even in the best of prisons.
What happened to Rachel Foster was the ultimate fear. Human experiments. It began as adventure and became a nightmare of unrelenting terror.
Who's there?
It's awfully cold for them down there. Rita's dead.
You can't tell anyone. Hi, baby.
Somewhere between medicine and witchcraft. Somewhere between justice and vengeance. Somewhere between progress and the unthinkable. Someone is performing human experiments. Human experiments. Someone is performing.
So that was the trailer for The Kid and Human Experiments.
Somewhere between medicine and witchcraft, just like this show.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe what we do here. I think that's pretty accurate description. Yeah, I mean that's like the most eye-catching, like, as I said to Evan, they should have brought that up way earlier. Like, they just bring that up late, and you're like, wait, that's what this movie's about? Like,
it's about human experiments.
Human experiments.
Someone's conducting human experiments.
You gotta love that's one of the great trailer narrators, and of course, I don't know his name, but
the guy from, what'd you say, Jaws?
Yeah, he narrates the Jaws trailer, and that's a very, very iconic, like, trailer advertising campaign. I mean, Jaws is one of the first summer blockbusters. And again, and was Mesa of Lost Women a blockbuster? Who's to say? I certainly don't know. But
so I'm sure when Jaws came out, a lot of people were afraid to get in the water, like a lot of kids were. Do you think any kid was afraid to go on a mesa after they saw this?
Big time. If you're telling me that you're not going to the mesa thinking, oh, what if I run into a giant spider? What am I gonna do?
What if there's a spider woman in there?
What am I gonna do? There's all these spider women running around. And they don't shoot webs from their hands. They're crawling around and they're killing people, and it's terrifying. They aren't superheroes. They're monsters.
These spider women are a menace.
Yeah. I think it definitely caused some hysteria whenever it was released. I think many people were probably afraid to go to the Mesa. As we've discussed, I mean, it's kind of a very absurd tale so far. They've managed to shoehorn in mad scientists and experiments with spiders and superhumans. It has been all over the place, but I mean, it's kept my attention, if nothing else, because it's throwing so much at you to try to keep your attention, whether it's the music or the narration or
right. Yeah, it's not boring. It's distracting, but it's not boring.
That's in that sense, that's the perfect way to describe it. Yeah. Yeah, it's really just distracting. Can't really get a grip on it. But I mean,
we're going to try our best here.
We'll do what we can, as we always do here. I mean, at least it's not boring. We can definitely say that. And I mean, the music, which again, that's the thing that's been the most overwhelming thing. It's funny because the music's by a guy named Hoyt S. Curtin, who would go on to be the main musical director for like pretty much all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Like, he did it for decades. So it has the like incessantness of like a cartoon score where they're just taking some motif and doing like 100 variations on it that is just wall to wall to cover the 7 minutes. It definitely has cartoon energy, I think.
Yeah, okay. We got a cartoon movie.
Well, yeah, so the music is really setting the tone here, I think. I think if we've learned anything, music has that kind of effect on people. I don't know what it is. Strange. Anything before we get into the exciting middle, boys?
Where are we going? So this guy, he's broken out of the asylum. I guess do you think that, what do we think his like state is right now? Because they kind of sent him to the asylum, but he wasn't actually crazy, right?
Right. Well, I think
he's seen a lot in the desert.
Well,
so had the other guy who they thought just had heat stroke.
I thought they performed some kind of experiments on him or something.
Oh, were they doing human experiments?
Yeah, I think they were. I think Dr. Aranya was doing some human experiments
on Spider-Man
on it. Well, yeah, well. No, I unfortunately you just can't make the webs shoot out of the hand. It's just not practical. It works in comic books, but
Would you guys rather have the body of a human and the mind of a spider, or the opposite? The body of a spider and the mind of a human.
That's a good
question. The body of a human and the mind of a spider. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go spider mind.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to be more aggressive in the in your work environment, if you're looking to really kind of show your fierce side, then yeah, maybe you want to go with the spider.
Establish dominance in the office by spinning a web, catching and desiccating your coworkers.
I think that's definitely the upside that you get from going with the spider brain. But I don't know. I'd love to have my brain and 8 arms and,
climb on walls. That's
climbing
something.
up, sure. Having a web, being able to set up a house wherever I want.
There you go. In this economy?
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that kind of home security.
That's the only way we'll become homeowners.
Yeah, that's true.
Any mad scientists out there? You want to line up that surgery?
Throw us a bone here. We really could use it.
That's gonna be in Biden's new plan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Turn us into spiders.
We gotta. Yep. We need to start embracing mad science to kind of take us into this new kind of these uncharted waters that we find ourselves in. We gotta embrace crackpot pseudoscience and just see where it takes us. Who knows? That was your takeaway from Oppenheimer, right, Fresh?
I think that was the
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
He was trying to make a spider person, but he accidentally made a bomb.
Yeah, I think that was.
It all worked out.
It all worked, right? Didn't it?
What if the Manhattan Project was just they were trying to make a stiff drink and it just got way out of hand?
I could see that. Yeah, they were just trying to make that Manhattan, and then it turned into that.
One thing leads to another.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Simple
That's
beginnings.
what happens when you hire scientists.
Yep. Yeah, they may look unassuming, but underneath those timid exteriors lies, savage party animals. You got to look out for those scientists, right, Evan?
Wink.
Fresh. Is there a delay with the Discord? You want me to restart my Discord?
Yeah, there is one.
Yeah, I'll restart real quick, restarting that Discord. But so basically this crazy guy is broken out, so who knows where he's gonna end up. All right, Fresh.
Who knows what he even is at this point?
Yeah, we don't know.
We're back.
We back. All right, so I think on that note, Fresh, if you have it queued up.
I do.
We're going to go ahead and get into the exciting middle of Mesa of Lost Women right now.
Hey, we're going to go ahead and get into the Mesa of Women.
Yeah, that's right. I said it. Mock me.
We're doing a roast.
Oh my god. So many fedoras.
Welcome back in the Phantom Creeps.
Or another possible.
Yeah, this is Rick's place. Uh-oh. Is that him?
Does he look like a spider?
Could be. Now, this, I think, might have been part of the original footage. We're getting some camera movement in the air.
Okay.
And the cinematographer on the original footage was like pretty sure an Academy Award winning, he was an Oscar winning cinematographer, Carl Struss.
So this character was in the original?
Yeah.
Drink, please. The very best. Scotch.
That's the best you got, eh?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
It's unsettling, honestly.
I wouldn't. If a bartender looked at me like that, I would not feel comfortable drinking what he gave me.
Well, it isn't exactly the Star Club, I'll admit, but...
Senora, the best people in the house.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely more to like the cinematography here. So this is definitely from the original version, I'd say. Those chairs. Man. Yeah.
We had to come down in this flea-bitten border town, and you would drag me to this dive, this unupholstered sewer.
Oh, I find this place rather amusing. Your Great Southwest has a certain flavor, no?
No. I don't happen to be in the mood for a cook's tour of our Great Southwest. If it wasn't for that forced landing, we'd be in Mexico getting married by now.
But, my dear, you can't blame me for the motor trouble. Those things will happen to the best of planes.
Well, it didn't have to happen on my wedding day.
Now you're acting childish, and that's not you. After After all, being able to adapt oneself to any situation is the mark of the true sophisticate.
I'm sorry.
And you're not angry with me?
Of course not, Jan.
Jesus. In a trance.
He's looking at him.
Leland J. Masterson is the name. May I?
I beg your pardon?
May I say you are beautiful, my
Oh my
dear?
God.
Very beautiful. And good.
May I say that you are very beautiful?
Too late. You already did.
You literally just said it.
Not for some time. The pilot is having considerable trouble.
Spend a small fortune for a plane. Hire the best pilot I can get. And what happens? Well, Wu, what are you waiting for? Get back to the plane.
Yes, master.
This guy's cheesing.
Music, music. Oh. Dance of the Spider Woman, huh? Oh my God. All right, that was... We didn't need a bit. He's still doing it. Oh my God, yeah. What a bit. Showing a lot of leg there. Scandalous.
Yeah, what year was this again?
53. Well, this stuff was shot in like 51. Like the original stuff.
Yeah, a lot of leg for 51.
Yep, this is definitely a spider dance. Yeah, this really makes me want to be able to play guitar.
It just keeps cutting back to like the static shot of him just blankly staring.
I'm all eyes.
Mr. Masterson? Certainly good to see you. I've been looking for you for 2 days.
I'm sorry, but I felt like a little trip.
We missed you, sir. Dr. Harrison wishes to see you, you know.
I know, George. But I don't want to see him.
It felt like a little trip.
What's this all about?
I'm his nurse, miss.
His nurse?
Yes, you see, Mr. Masterson is...
No, George. I wouldn't do that. See, I like this lady.
Okay, good. Now she doesn't know you're crazy.
Yeah, that was very reassuring.
Hey, no, don't tell her, don't tell her.
It's nothing bad, I promise.
Yeah, it's fine. I just really, I would literally kill myself if he told you, but it's not bad.
God, he definitely has those crazy eyes going hard.
You like her? Very much. She's fascinating. As a dancer, of course.
Huh.
I don't like her.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Tell me what's
wrong. Evil.
She's killing this spider dance.
And they threw her down, and her blood was sprinkled on the wall. And he trod her underfoot.
What the?
He's turning into the narrator.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Oh.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Give me that gun, Mr. Masterson. Please, give me that gun. Come on.
Damn.
No, I'll shoot you too.
Stop, everybody. Listen. This man's an insane killer. He's local. He'll kill all of us before you can reach him. Thank you, George. Well spoken.
He's loco.
I only did what had to be done.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
George, don't take another step.
He sounds so unassuming. Don't take another step.
I will kill her first.
I'll fucking kill you.
Oh shit, some zoom action.
Zoomed up.
Hey,
Let's go home. Don't be afraid. I won't let them hurt you.
It's not them I'm worried about, guy. I love how everybody's just like, well, even though there's 20 of us and one of him, you know.
I mean, I don't think I would run toward the guy with the gun.
It's starting to get into to very relevant territory.
She's not going with us. Not going with us?
That's why everyone else needs a gun.
You're in danger.
But we've got to get to the landing field.
Landing field?
But this is Mexico. Everybody's carrying a gun.
Let me talk to the sheriff.
Doreen, dear, you sit up here in front. Miss Doreen
Only
is
thing
going
that
to
can
sit
stop a
with me,
bad spider with a gun.
aren't you?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Is
me.
Me.
There's a dead woman lying right here on the floor.
Jeez.
That's right, Sheriff. He shot her dead. No, she's right where she fed. Nobody touched a thing.
So I think this was probably shot later.
Sheriff, the body just got up and walked out of here.
Sheriff, you'll never fucking guess what happened.
You won't believe what happened next.
No, Sheriff, you have to guess.
And Philip seems to be ready for the takeoff.
So I think in the original version of this, the crazy guy was literally just a crazy guy. He wasn't like,
Connected to.
yeah, it wasn't like the whole thing with the mad scientist turned him crazy and all that.
You're the captain. How much longer do you think? Dear young man.
He still has the gun out, dude. I love it.
I command. Thou shalt obey.
Whoa.
Is he kidding? He ain't kidding, mister.
Yeah, you think he's kidding, mister?
He does have a gun.
Yeah, it's one of those guns that when you pull the trigger, a flag with the word bang pops out. That's all it is.
At last.
He's a real
Don't be
jokester.
afraid. I won't let them harm you. Get in quick.
If anybody's gonna be
Really
harming
pointing
you,
a gun at her.
it'll
I'm gonna
be
let him
me.
harm you.
So creepy.
Come along, George. Now we will all fly.
I don't know. Can that plane support like 2 extra people?
Oh god.
Pack them in there like sardines. The tank from
the Juggernaut.
Well, she's on course. How long do you think it will take us, Phillips? If everything goes all right, about an hour and a half. It's wonderful up here. So close to heaven.
Nice.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, you gotta give a warning if you're gonna start the blender, Evan.
Somebody's fooled with the setting. We've been flying 100 degrees off course. I knew it. The left engine's acting up already.
Not the left engine.
Is it bad, Jan? Do we
You
have to
knew
go down
it.
again?
What kind of plane is this?
Just stay calm, please. Nothing seriously wrong so far.
Good boss.
Yeah, I figured the left engine was gonna fucking conk out on us.
Oh my god.
It's getting worse, much worse. I'll have to go down. And fast.
Hey.
Well, looks like this Mesa looks like a nice place to land.
I can't see a place to land.
Don't look too good, miss.
Thank you, sir.
We keep on flying. I like it. This is my order. Fasten your safety belts. This can't last much longer. And please remain calm. Can't you find the landing spot, Phillips? Not yet. But I am trying for that Mesa dead ahead. You think we'll make it? I don't know, sir. Keep your fingers crossed. Miss Culbertson, no smoking.
Okay, Captain.
What?
Well, may I ask where we are?
Somewhere over Mexico at an altitude of
Even on these little private planes, that's still a rule, huh?
The other one's okay. Doesn't
This
do us
plane
any
is a
good, not in this
hypocrite.
ship.
The plane's smoking.
Birds fly without motors, and so will we. Mister, I don't know who you are or what you are, but this bird won't fly. When a bird is sick, he has to land. And our bird is sick. Very sick.
When a bird is sick, he's gotta land, see?
I shall heal. The good I shall protect. We've got a chance. I'm going down. Hold tight.
Protect pretty woman.
Hold on, everybody. It looks too short. I'll have to break the run.
Oh wow.
Okay, that was quick.
Aha.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Yes, I'm all right.
Good.
Thank you for flying Air Mesa.
Spirit.
Stick close. I want to talk to you. Right. I never thought we'd make it, Phillips. But we did, sir. Good girl, Miss Culbertson.
Oh, thank you, Captain.
Wow. All right. Patronizing much. I think these lost women are gonna teach you a lesson, guy. Uh-oh.
I like it here.
Mm.
Our voices sound strange up here. Do you hear that?
It must be the echo of our voices, my dear, thrown back at us from the forest.
Certainly not this soundstage we're on.
I caught up with him in that border dive just before I killed that dancer. I tried, but I couldn't stop him.
Why did he kill her? How did he get that gun?
Nobody knows why he kills. He just wants to, and he does. Where he got that gun?
He just wants to.
Probably bought it. He has lots of money all the time. Doesn't mean a thing to him.
What the hell?
Can't we get that gun away from him?
I'll try, Captain. You can bet on that. But for the sake of all of us, don't try to rush a force in.
How'd he get that gun? This is America, guy.
May I smoke now, Captain?
Oh, no, not yet. I have to look at the gas tanks first.
Let's just get this wing out of here. Why is he's like frozen, like he's taking a picture?
Any idea where we are, Phillips?
I think so, sir. We're in Mexico, about 120 miles below the border, on top of a mesa rising 600 feet above the desert.
600
Dang.
feet?
That's right.
600 feet.
Stuck up in the air like an island in the sky.
I suppose we can't walk down from here.
Good one.
Sorry,
You try walking down from there, lady.
It's wonderful.
When he was landing, he just chose to land on the big tower over the desert.
Pretty much. Ah.
All right, better get that flare. And the flashlight. We'll need some light.
Something? I don't like it here. A bit.
Well, if I had a nightmare, this is it. Who could be out there?
I don't know. It could be a very natural cause. An old dead branch breaking off or a falling tree. I wouldn't worry too much. Well, here comes Wu. Now we can have a fire.
Did you hear that noise out there, Wu?
Yes, master. You heard?
Did you see anything?
The curtain of darkness veils the sharpest eyes. We saw nothing.
Well, let's get that fire going. I'll be back in a minute.
The soundtrack that just won't quit.
It won't. Never give up.
Well, that's better. We have a fire.
Do you?
A drink. Oh, I certainly can use it.
Oh yeah, a tiny little fire. There it is.
But first, let's get this into the air.
Nice. I'm sorry. Does a flare make a noise like a slide whistle, or is that just me?
All we can do is hope.
Have we been firing off flares on the stream?
Yeah. Yep, all the
It's a relief
time.
to be informal once in a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'll eat something. I feel hungry. Shut up, you fool.
You were the fool, Jan. Remember his gun?
A hungry animal knows no fear.
Oh, you're hungry. Can I fix you a drink?
No, thank you. Not brandy just before dinner. Sorry, sir, to disillusion you, but there's no food on this ship. Not even a K ration.
This is dinner, bud.
We drink our dinner on the mesa.
Thank you, sir. That helped. I'm gonna look around. What for? You can't see anything. We need this flashlight. I have this. Does that give out enough light? Sure, I use it at the sanitarium all the time.
What is that? Is that like the little thing you use to look in somebody's eyes? Just the little light? Like.
Mr. Masterson,
We have no food with us.
Just goes a
Literally looks
flashlight.
like- I thought he was holding
always
chapstick. The smallest little thing.
I'm gonna go stumble around in the dark.
Damn, well, I certainly can't go back now. I told them I was going to go look around. Can't see shit with this little light.
It didn't work. I had to come back.
Sucks. Boom. The editing, like, for it is bad too. It's just so hard. Like,
The light's not even on. I don't think it's a light. The fucking mop.
it is definitely a mop faux show. So I think this is the break right here. So that's gonna take us to
Yeah, finally, we're pretty deep in here.
We are, and the mad scientist kind of disappeared.
Yeah, he hasn't been around much. Are they gonna have time? Is there time left to dismantle this whole thing?
I think so. I think they'll be able to pull it all together. But I think basically what we've seen, so like pretty much in the second half or second part of our show, that's really like the original movie. That's Tarantula.
It seems to me that this movie was originally about a crazy guy who like hijacks a plane basically, and they crash on a mesa.
Yeah.
And there's a spider.
Yeah. I think that I don't know if the dwarves and the women were added later, or if they were, if that was it, if it was just a spider. But that's essentially, I think you nailed.
In which case, not to be mean, but like I kind of get why it might not have been distributed.
Right.
I mean, not to judge too hard. I don't know the whole story, but
it's just kind of more of an adventure drama, just kind of more of an action with just kind of some weird, but not really overtly horror or science fiction, which I think is probably what made it a hard sell. Like especially in those days, if you don't have a big star, if you don't have a certain kind of production value, you got to figure out how you're going to exploit the thing. Like, how are you going to sell it? And so being able to say, well, it fits in this genre or that genre, that was one way to sell it. But if you don't even have that, it's going to be hard to get your movie distributed. And I think that's what the original director, Tivos, I think that's what he ran into. Because he just made, again, that was basically his only movie as far as I could find. And it just seems like he didn't really understand, that side of filmmaking, that you have to make something that is sellable and what that means, like to market it, under a, like, okay, well, it falls under, and so this is the kind of movie I'm making. I don't think he had those thoughts, even though he had a title like Tarantula. So
yeah, which you think, like, you've got the title Tarantula. I mean, that's...
No, this was just kind of like kind of plot elements that were popular at this time, like for more of an action adventure type of film.
Yeah, you got the plane crash.
Plane crash.
The kind of mysterious locale.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's again, not too much to it really. So adding in a mad scientist and some spider women, all that, it's fun. And
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting angle.
Yeah. And all of that was courtesy of Ron Ormond, who was hired by the guys who bought the film. There was these two guys who were theater distributors in the South, in America, like in the United States. They had partnered together to create this company called Halco, and they this was one of their first movies, and they hired Ormond to pad this movie out and to make it more, marketable, I guess. And I think he kind of was one of their go-to directors when they started up this company. And they would go on to kind of distribute movies throughout the 70s and have, kind of some hits, but this was one of their first movies. And Ormond was I don't know, he's kind of a weird guy. It sounds like he's based out of Nashville, but he had connections with like Hollywood. Like I think he was the one that was friends with Jackie Coogan, and that's how Jackie Coogan got involved to play the mad scientist. So I guess he had some kind of connections out west, but he was based out of Nashville. And so he made more movies for Halco and other low budget indie movies that he filmed, all over the South. He was very much like a Southern based filmmaker, and he ended up, he made Westerns, he made horror films, he made exploitation films, and eventually like his wife and son got in on like the mix. And so it was like a whole family affair of like making these movies. And, but then apparently he was in a plane crash. He and his wife were in a plane crash in the late 60s. And so the experience kind of transformed them into born again Christians. And they started making these Christianity films, which were, I didn't know, like there's this kind of whole, he did like 3 or 4 of these movies, and they're noted for their surreal, like, propaganda. Like, it's just they're very strange movies. And, with titles like The Burning Hell. And he teamed up with a Baptist preacher. Like, that's the thing. It's all like Baptist fundamentalist, like
leaning hard into the revelation side of born again Christianity.
Big time. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, he was very much into kind of movie making, popular indie movie making, making exploitation films, making horror films, but then he pivoted, and he's got these really strange Christian films under his belt. And so he developed like a cult following. And so the trailers that we've got for this break are 2 Ron Ormond trailers. We've got one for, it was probably one of his last non-Christian fundamentalist propaganda films. It was I think from 1967, late 60s. It's called White Lightning something. I can't remember, but it's about, moonshine runners, and they're also drag racers or something like that.
So this is just the NASCAR movie.
Yeah, essentially it's a, NASCAR movie that takes place in, I guess, in somewhere in Tennessee, more than likely. And the second trailer, I don't remember what it's called. It's something damned or something. I don't know. but it looks wild. It looks ridiculous. It's a trailer that somebody made on YouTube. I couldn't find any original trailers for his
fan trailer.
Yeah, it's a fan trailer, but it's interesting. You can definitely see that it's very strange. Definitely, he definitely was trying to scare some people with these films, which you don't necessarily expect out of Christian films, but yeah, it's something. So we're gonna get these 2 Ron Ormond trailers, and then when we come back, we'll get into the exciting conclusion of Mesa of Lost Women. So stick around. We'll be right back.
And it's coming to this theater. See, White Lightning Road. A picture with a sock like a hit from a brass knuckle about the fastest driving guys this side of Mars. But they had to be fast, and they had to be good, driving their modified stocks on the track or delivering their White Lightning on the highway. And whether it's driving on the racetrack for a prize or delivering their load in a hurry on the highway, you'll have to fasten your safety belt in order to stay on White Lightning Road. And wait till you meet Ruby. She's as hot as a $2 pistol. In fact, she's much hotter. It's the action picture of the century. Crack-ups, thrills, plus a bevy of barnyard babes who like their men fast. On the track or in their arms, women who loved and fought for the right to be loved. And the queen bee was Ruby. The drivers called her a pit trap. Some, a barn trap.
Runner with a load of moonshine. If I'm not mistaken, that runner was you.
I think they're taking Joe in for running whiskey.
You mean that kid runs illegal moonshine?
Yeah, but we get most of the extra money he makes.
Ruby?
Uh-huh. Ruby's pa caught him in the barn, so old Sid just drove to town. Shotgun and all.
Now, you get yourself into town and you get yourself a marriage license.
Who for?
Yours and Ruby.
Now, Mr. Thompson, we wasn't doing nothing.
Well, after this morning, it won't matter if you do or not.
It's the kind of picture with the kind of excitement you won't want to miss. Plus the kind of driving action that makes a figure 8 look like a sewing circle. Yes, it's like the sudden blast of a shotgun wedding, shooting down the highway at breakneck speeds. See the most spectacular shots ever photographed on the highway in White Lightning Road. So make a date to see White Lightning Road.
Satan is a real person, and the demons of hell are real entities.
Well, I believe the Bible is the inspired word of God. And I further believe people who dabble in the occult, fortune-telling, invoking the spirits, or talking with the dead, are either one of two things. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're either fakes who put on a good show, or they're humans energized by demonic forces of the spirit.
Believe your own brother is in hell.
If I'm to believe the Bible, yes.
Hell is so white, so miserable.
I want to watch that movie.
Yeah, doesn't that look like fun? You know, that's why it's so funny to think that, you know, like, okay, so those are supposed to be kind of like these pro-Christianity films, but it just looks like some weird odd cult object, right? Like it just looks like it's not meant to be serious, or it's not meant, you know, because it's just so hard line. But that was what happened. But it's weird because they were like, before the plane crash, they were like into like spiritualism, and like he was like, I think he might have done like some stage magic or something.
Okay.
There's like a whole book, like somebody did a whole book about them and their lives, and like I found this great quote about them, along with like, it was something for that book, but it said well, and so they were like in vaudeville, like they did like, you know, and then drive-in movie. They were just very like, they were on all these scenes. So this quote was, "Theirs was a glittery world like no other, populated by inebriated cowboys, spook show mentalists, non-acting country stars, UFO testifiers, men in gorilla suits, egocentric magicians, mud wrestling ex-strippers, sweaty preachers, rockabilly monsters, pint-sized evangelists."
Oh my God.
So, you know, definitely just like that's the beauty of filmmaking away from Hollywood, right? Is the people that you get who are like,
You get those people.
you get these kind of people who are just like, you know, entertainment people in the South who are just connected to all the weird, odd, you know, strange
Things
circles
get
of
weird when you're in the rest of America.
Yeah, when you get outside, I mean, stuff's plenty weird in Hollywood, don't get me wrong, but it's a different kind of weird, especially in the South, which is just so funny about like even the company producing tonight's film. It was like formed by two guys who owned movie theaters all throughout the South. So they were like, you know, they always knew that they had an audience in the South, so they kind of made films for a Southern audience, and that's low budget indie distribution. Like this is very much outside Hollywood. So
And what do people in the South want?
Right.
To be terrified of going to hell.
Yep, it's gonna get them every time. I don't know, and I don't know if it's true, but I read something about like that some of their Christian films made like millions of dollars, like, and they didn't show in theaters. They were, I don't know if they were sold to churches or like what the deal was, but I mean, hey, there was obviously money in it.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you spend all the money they're not paying in taxes on movies.
yeah, hey, yep, good, and money well spent, I must say. But yeah, he you know, again, before he got into that stuff, I mean, he did westerns, he did horror films. I don't know if he was running in the same circles as Ed Wood, but you know, and again, I don't know if Ed Wood's people were in the first production phase of this movie or the second production phase, but like his ex-girlfriend Dolores pops up. The lead actress from Plan 9, Mona McKinnon, she's like a Spider Woman. Who else is it? And then another connection from earlier this season, there's another Spider-Woman who's played by Catherine Victor, who played the mad scientist in Teenage Zombies, which we watched earlier this season. I don't remember which Spider-Woman she is. I don't know if we've already seen her yet or not, but her stuff was part of the second phase of production. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of low-budget connections here. So you gotta love the small world of low budget indie sci-fi and horror.
Do love the cross connectedness.
Yeah,
it kind of makes a web, you could say.
You might say that. Yes, you might. Well, on that note, anything before we get into it, boys? Anything?
How big? So we've seen a spider so
Yeah,
far,
one.
like which I think is fair to call a giant spider. But that leg looks pretty big. We might be getting we're getting a call.
Oh yeah, I think we have a call. I think
Okay, let's go to the phone.
Yep. Let's. Oh, they're
joining.
Nope, they're not. They're changing. They're very fickle. They're not sure.
The Discord is blowing up.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. Well, on that note, I'd say Fresh, if you have it queued up. Perfect. Then we're gonna go ahead get into the exciting conclusion of Mesa of Lost Women right now.
Oh, right in the middle of a fucking flamenco guitar solo.
So I noticed.
Well, that's just any part of the movie.
No offense, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point.
The same song.
It's just a really long music video.
I'm going with you, Grant. Anything's better than to sit here and wait.
May I suggest that we wait here until Phillips finds out what happened? You'll be safer here.
Are you concerned about my safety?
George is out there and in trouble. I'll go. Anyone who
George is played by an actor named George Barrows, who was actually an ape suit actor. He was in Robot Monster. He played Roman, and he actually also was in the ape suit in Ghost in the Invisible Bikini and Hillbillies in the Haunted House. So he was kind of like your 60s gorilla suit guy. Picked up the mantle from Crash Corrigan. Can't remember who our other, somebody else.
I believe it's better, Mr. Bancroft, if you hold on to Mr. Masterson's coat. And Wu, you bring up the rear.
Keeps drumming.
Yeah, keep it up. Don't stop.
God.
Don't stop. Don't stop. It's just all improv, like all in one take in one session.
See anything?
They're just repetitively playing the same. All right, gang, let's split up.
Is that you, George?
George is dead.
Oh, I'll go have a look around in the dark. What's the worst thing that could happen?
Dun, 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 dun.
There's just something about the combination of the piano and the guitar. It's just so spare, but so like I can't even think of the word for it. It's like striking, but like not in a good way.
Only a black gaping hole, huh? Light won't reach bottom. Hey, you wait here. I'll try this alone. It looks too narrow. One wrong step and we may all go over.
Wait here.
I like how none of the lights anyone has are actually on.
Yeah.
Is it George?
Yep.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford batteries.
Oh, hi.
All right, everybody just step over George. Take one big step. Everybody get a good look.
Who
shot him.
Nobody shot him. Look.
Oh shit! That's good. I like that.
What could have killed him?
I don't know. I hope we won't have to find out.
George is beyond help. We should all go back and tend the fire for the living.
Poor George. There's not a thing we can do for him.
That's one way to put it. George is beyond help.
I'll have to get by.
This sounds like somebody's improvising on the guitar. Just... Whoa!
Scatter.
They're good at that. They must have rehearsed that.
Yeah, practiced.
It was really good.
They're scatter.
Branches. Something's moving in there.
Help! It's got me! Something got me! Where? Here on my arm. My left arm.
Ah.
Oh.
It's a nasty scratch, all right, but nothing serious. I'll dress it as soon as we get back to the plane. I'd suggest we all stay away from these thorns.
Yeah, those are some gnarly thorns, man.
Oh, look, the skirt's ruined. So is his heel.
Wow.
You weren't hurt, Miss Culbertson.
They're really giving her a lot to do, huh?
Thank you.
May we go on now, Phillips?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Phillips.
Let's go.
Too bad co-pilot Flathead had the day off.
That was very good.
Where's that bottle of yours, Captain?
He's just still pointing the gun. I love how he's just. You think his trigger finger's starting to get a little tired, huh?
Don't you forget, you're still my hostages.
And I fix myself a drink.
Make it a double.
How about you?
How about
Here we are.
How about you? Doesn't matter. Moving on. Finally, we're back to Dr. Anya.
There must be something we can do to get help.
Done the only thing we can do. That's send up a flare. If help doesn't come by morning, we'll make a signal fire. But meanwhile, I'd suggest
If help
we get
doesn't
some
come by morning.
sleep. A long night ahead of us.
Do you expect any of us to sleep after what happened tonight?
Well,
I love how they're not even worried about being hostages of this guy anymore. Like, that's not even a concern.
They have bigger problems.
They really do.
Stand guard and keep the fire going. My eyes open.
Well, we all could use a little rest. But remember now, we are putting our lives in your hands.
I realize that, sir.
Doreen, why don't you try to make yourself a little comfortable? Try to get some rest.
I'll try.
The darkest shadows of the night will melt away with the morning sun.
Mr. Masters, don't you think you better get some sleep?
Is it bedtime?
Yeah, it's bedtime. I'll wake you when morning comes.
Morning already, huh?
Nothing like old hard ground. Why don't they sleep in the blanket?
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
I mean, I guess unless they just want to be close to the fire, but surely it's not that. Well, maybe it's cold in the desert.
Very good, my dear, very good. Soon their nerves will break.
There's only so much flamenco guitar one person can take in like an hour and some change.
Yeah, I think that threshold is
we're way
past that.
It just this is never gonna stop.
Didn't mean to wake you.
We're gonna be haunted by these guitars.
Me hearing this.
You nervous?
In my sleep tonight.
I was just thinking. Phillips, why do you ignore me?
Blunk, blunk, blunk.
Yes. And I resent it.
You're not used to it, huh?
At least they're changing it up a little bit finally.
I don't dislike you, Miss Cummings.
For our tender
But you
sake.
don't
Yeah.
approve of me, is that it?
Tinder. Oh, I can play
You think
Tinder.
I'm marrying him for his money.
No.
A little bit quiet.
Pull it back. Pull it back.
Well, I'm not exactly mad about him, if that's what you mean. But I am fond of him.
And he can give you nice things.
Well, yes. Why not? He can give me security, for one thing.
Security.
And that's important. Don't you think?
Why should you care what I think?
I don't exactly. It's just that I'd like you to understand me.
Here we go. Uh-oh. Swarm.
I thought I heard something. No, I guess it wasn't anything.
It was just the wind.
Now,
It's not the wind.
what were you saying?
I was saying that I'd like you to understand me.
I think I do understand you.
Oh, no, you don't. You can't.
You don't know me.
Oh, yes, I can.
Oh, yes, I do.
I've had my hard knocks, too. I've had to work ever since I was a kid. Some of it wasn't very much fun. Well, I guess it boils down to what you want out of life.
What is for you, Grant?
Well, I want a girl who's sincere. Real. Someone who'd stick by me when the chips are down.
Wink.
One who wants me only
With
for
a
what I
short
am.
skirt and a long jacket.
Big order, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh, you just met this guy.
Wow. Unrivaled passion.
Yeah, sheesh.
Oh, wait a minute.
Slow down.
This was to be your wedding night.
Yeah, you're
Remember?
about to get married, lady.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Get a grip.
I just heard the guitar and I got all hot.
What did you see, dear?
Well, I couldn't sleep. Phillips and I were sitting here talking, and there was a noise. I looked up, and I I saw some women and little men.
Where are these crickets coming from all of a sudden? What the hell?
All of a sudden the guitar cut out and I got really scared.
No offense intended, Miss Culbertson, but I know what strange tricks our minds can play on us.
Yes, I know, Phillips, but I'm sure I saw it.
This is like the first time we haven't had the guitar for like a sustained amount of time. And it's like, well, we got to put on cricket sound effects. We can't have the guitar too.
We must find it. That comb is a valuable heirloom of my family.
Like they have not had the cricket sound effects yet.
You think I'm going out there once more? You're crazy.
I didn't intend you to go. Who will go and look for it?
May I have the light?
Oh, don't be a fool!
He who serves well will also serve in danger.
Woo.
What?
Woo, you're too sweet.
Woo.
Aww.
Wow. Okay, we're getting some interesting character development.
Yeah.
Have my guidance and protection.
Okay, Wu. If you feel that way about it, I won't stop you. But don't hesitate to use that gun. I hope you know how.
There's a day to be born and a day to die.
Oh, Woo.
Oh my god. Wu's on a suicide mission.
Woo is, yeah. Brutal.
Look at so.
Okay, yes, I will sacrifice myself for the group.
Yeah, this is when it comes back, yeah. We like finally broke the monotony for a little bit, and now we're right back in. That if he looks familiar to you, the first little person we saw there, that was Angelo Rosito, who was Lugosi's henchman in Scared to Death, and is in a bunch of other horror and science fiction films.
I want you to realize that if Wu doesn't come
including
back,
Mad Max Beyond
you will be
Thunderdome.
responsible.
I'll never touch that comb again, even if he finds it.
I still have my heirloom. You make me sick. I declare I have to leave that crazy house. Blessed be the pure in mind, for they shall find peace. And you are a coward, sir. What?
Really tough without your gun, huh?
Let go of me if you don't want to lose your job.
I haven't had the opportunity to tell you yet, but I quit when we went out there on your orders.
Oh shit. Damn. Fuck you, man. You threw Wu under the bus. I quit. What is this, Wu? Just coming right down?
You brought Masterson?
Yes, he's here.
Good.
Oh.
Woo!
What about the others?
Well, I have something in mind for the girl and the pilot. The other I shall dispose of. What's the matter, Wu?
Okay, man, that's a little bit of a twist there. Holy shit.
Uh-oh.
Poor, well, I say poor Wu, but he was working for Dr. Aranya. Should have known. Nice little twist there. I got a special Spider-Woman bracelet. That's their calling card. They leave it on all their victims. Was that, what the hell was that? Was that a giant spider?
Yeah, when are we gonna get this giant spider?
Make a move, spider.
There's your priceless heirloom.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
You murdered him.
They're coming for us. They're coming. And put a little more wood on that fire, quick. Just keep it
Moving really slowly, even though it's
Remember, we
quick.
haven't seen him yet.
Aren't you afraid, Grant?
I'm scared stiff.
If you're frightened, what do you call him?
Yeah, really, really great
I
acting.
can't stand it. I'm getting out of here.
Dead.
Don't be a fool. The only thing keeping you back is our fire.
Ah, there it is. No, no, as I walk toward it. Let's get them, boys.
That's kind of scary.
Angelo Rosito was also in Freaks, which, you know, slightly reminiscent there.
He'll recover consciousness in a moment or so. Be perfectly sane again. It's unfortunate.
I'll give him the sanity
Left us
serum.
in such a state before. I understand that he was committed to an asylum, attempted to kill Tarantella.
Grant, look. It's the dancer from the cafe. I
Tarantella.
saw him kill her.
That's her name.
The
Tarantella.
durability of my creations.
Dr. Aranya. Aranya. That's Spanish for spider.
Great.
Thanks.
I'm so happy we learned that.
Vaguely.
Yes, you escaped just before, Doctor. and
Remember what I was
the
saying about
taser
this movie not
accompanied you.
trusting its audience?
Why not just kill me? Why bring me back?
Unfortunately,
Right
I
on it.
still need your help. I'll give you one more chance to change your mind.
No, never. Nothing you can do will ever make me a party to this.
Tarantella.
No, you're not going to torture him anymore.
Oh no, she's going to toe-to-toe with the Spider-Woman. Ooh. What the hell?
Don't you fool!
Quick.
Oh, I don't think so. Just a few moments, this will explode and destroy you and me and all of your terrible creations. Doctor, you remember science. You wouldn't destroy the greatest achievement of science. Scientist, yes, but I'm a human being too, and that's where we differ. You two have got a chance. Through that door, down the corridor in the rock. Hurry! Who is he? What is this place? A brilliant madman.
We gotta get it all out now. We gotta tie all this together.
Your creations can grow a new arm or leg, but nothing can survive fire.
Oh
my god.
I don't know.
Oh
how
my
we
god.
Stumbled and staggered across that desert before he found us. Well, that's about the story. Believe it or not.
Grant.
How do you feel?
All right, I guess.
I've just been telling them our story. They don't buy it.
How do you think he did?
Es verdad. That's the truth.
Now, don't worry about it. You're going to be all right in a couple of days. Just a little too much sun on the bare head. Anybody thinks I'm going to load one of my trucks with oil and...
You gotta wear a hat like me.
Burn a bunch of imaginary spiders.
Yes, you're right, Dan. Common sense tells you there isn't anything to his story, doesn't it? Giant spiders on a desert mesa. Fantastic. Pepe is just a superstitious native. True, no one has ever been on Sapa Mesa, but it's just like any other bit of tableland. Not a thing different about it. Or, is there?
Wow. Let's get more.
Get them all out. Get them all out.
Wow, that was Mesa of Lost Women. So, what did we think, boys?
I didn't like the narrator. It felt like I was waiting for Rod Serling to step out
Right.
there at the end as he was saying that.
Yeah.
There's nothing strange about this mesa except for it's in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, really, really, really. I don't think anybody likes a pompous narrator, and it's what we got here tonight. I mean, he just took over the beginning of the first 5 minutes of the movie. He was just, kind of barged his way in to take over any moment that didn't already have dialogue, and then he's got to come in at the end.
And some that did.
Yeah, and even some that did. No, you don't need to worry about this. What he's saying isn't important. All you need to know is what is coming out of my mouth right now.
But like what was coming out of the narrator's mouth was just like what they were thinking.
It was just jargon. It didn't make any sense what he was saying. I could definitely believe that Ed Wood wrote that nonsense. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, not like a whole bunch of giant spider action,
Yeah, I'm glad we got a little bit. I like the jump.
Yeah, the jump was good. Fortunately, that was about all it did.
Yeah, it didn't do a whole lot.
Didn't do a whole lot, and I love how they bring it in to be by Dr. Aranya after the explosion, and it's just motionless, standing behind him. It's like, no, this is your opportunity to kind of wiggle it around a little bit, like have it moving closer toward him or something. Spice this up. I mean, nope, just shot, boom, done, in the can. Let's put it out there.
You could have had it like curl up like spiders do when it was burning.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been cool. Like arachnophobia. Yeah, that would have been good. Nope.
It sure was convenient that there were the two chemicals that will just blow up a room.
He knew exactly what they were.
Yeah, that was kind of lucky, wasn't it?
Yeah, very, very lucky.
This is my self-destruct beaker.
I was expecting a little more there with that.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little more with the doctor and a little bit more. No.
They wrapped it up quick. Once they got inside, it was over.
It was over pretty fast. And I mean, the music, I was hoping the music would go hard at the end, but it really just kind of, I felt like it was harder at the beginning of the movie than it was at the end, which is like the exact opposite of how it should have been.
You get so desensitized to that.
Yeah, I think I definitely did. I definitely did.
After a while, it did kind of start to grate on me a bit. It was after it cut out for like a minute, and it was like, oh man, finally, this is so much better.
And then when it comes back, you're just like, oh, my God,
I'm over.
Okay. Yeah, it does something to your brain. It does get into your brain and what is this doing? It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it turns out that's how he got the spider brains into the women. He was just flamenco guitar.
Flamenco guitar and accompanied by a pianist. And yeah, it's kind of underwhelming. I was expecting a little more mad scientist action as well, but
Yeah, he had some good scenes early on, but even when he came back later, they didn't really give him a whole lot of room to stretch.
They just kind of covered it all in a wide, and that was that. I mean, wrapped up very, very quick.
Which, considering how many random close-up cuts we got during this film, it's almost a little funny that during the finale you don't get any.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, like you said, it was just wrapped up incredibly quickly.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like some of these older movies that we've seen, or the Poverty Row films.
Yeah. I mean,
very quick wrap up.
I mean, this was released in 1953, so it's still, not too far off the trail of those kind of movies, and that kind of being acceptable. for like mainstream. Wrap it up quick. Nobody's gonna care. For low budget independent filmmaking, especially, it wasn't too big of a concern. Which, I mean, it's a little. It's just such a disjointed movie, man, and the musical score I think was probably the most dominant factor in the whole thing. And that even got reused later in an Ed Wood movie called Jailbait. They reused I don't know if they do it wall to wall in that like they do here, but they use this flamenco guitar.
You gotta use the whole thing.
I hope not. I couldn't imagine using just that. I mean, the fact they used just that for this whole movie is bonkers.
It really is. But
they make it work. They make it work. Yeah. So MESA of Lost Women didn't
R.I.P. Wu.
R.I.P. Wu. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting him to be a double agent, but
didn't when they were in the bar, didn't him and the dancer like nod at each
he
other?
He did share a look. That's right. Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
A little bit of foreshadowing there. Definitely. There were, yep, can't say they didn't make the connection early. A little bit of development going on there, but not much. But I mean, at the end of the day, not a whole bunch of creature action, but don't worry because next week it's all creature focused. Because next week we're watching a documentary from the 70s about everybody's favorite cryptid, Bigfoot.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Whether you guys knew it or not, basically there was like a Bigfoot movie craze in the 70s. Like turns out very easy for independent filmmakers to make really cheap, low budget Bigfoot movies and put them into drive-ins and make a ton of money.
Well, it's Bigfoot. People aren't expecting high quality footage.
No, you don't need high quality footage. And the company that released tonight's film, Halco Productions, they kind of released the first film that kicked off the trend. And that's kind of like a prototype for films like The Blair Witch and other films. But Legend of Boggy Creek set off this just wave of Bigfoot schlock. And luckily for us, this documentary, The Legend of Bigfoot, is public domain. And it is very much documentary. So it's basically, it's in the stead of what would be our silent movie. Now we got a documentary. I think that Fresh will be in a comparable amount of pain. Because I mean,
I will take the documentary over the silent film anytime.
Yeah, I mean, Bigfoot is a great topic for a documentary. I could watch an hour and a half about Bigfoot.
People talking about Bigfoot.
Yeah. I mean, well, and I've seen a little bit of this just in my, kind of researching the movie for this season, and it's very much centered around a guy whose life is just hunting for Bigfoot, a scientist, but it's still.
Isn't that how it goes? How many scientists have given their lives to searching for Bigfoot?
Yeah, and if you like if you like really heavy-handed narrators, then get ready for next week because the scientist is the narrator. And Bigfoot is my greatest passion, and I love Bigfoot. I mean, that's like essentially it. Like he's really got a thing for Bigfoot. You guys will see on Friday. It'll be a lot of fun.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so that'll be next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can join us for The Legend of Bigfoot. Of course, you can go back and you can go catch all of our past episodes on YouTube, wherever they're at Scream Stream Live.
next Wednesday.
I don't. I think we'll be off on Wednesday. We won't be doing our mini-sodes. I'll be on vacation, but I will be back for the main episode on Friday. And so yeah, we will be back in 2 weeks for our mini-sode finale. We'll double up for the final 2 chapters of Undersea Kingdom.
A big showdown, Crash Corrigan and Unga Khan.
Yeah, is Unga Khan gonna finally get that castle up to the upper layer? Is he gonna be able to shoot it to the top? Or is Crash Corrigan just gonna
wrestle his way
wrestle his way to victory? Who knows? We'll find out. That'll be exciting. So 2 Wednesdays from now, you'll be able to check that out. Of course, where you can follow us over on Twitter and Instagram at ScreamStream Show. You can find me over on Twitter at Spakenstein. Mr. Fresh Rogan is over on Twitter at and Instagram at Fresh Rogan. And Mr. Evan Sink is on Twitter and now Instagram at Caligari Curse. So you can go find all of us over on that shit. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in tonight. As always, appreciate you hanging out and enjoying some nice schlock with us. Is anything before we sign off tonight, boys?
I think I'm sufficiently terrified of mesas now. Is that mesophobia?
Mesophobia. Coming next fall. All right. Until next Friday. Sweet screams, everybody.
Creep tight.
And to all, a good fright.